This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield and Chris Goss.
And Chris Goss is not around today. He's actually on vacation. Spending some time with his family. He's got his 6 months in, so big congratulations, Chris. Hopefully you're listening. Now, you do have replacement, sort of. It looks like now she's tired out. She's tired of messing with my computer, and she's the one and only Nico. And she should be up and purring and messing with my computer here any minute. So we'll see how that goes with her laying so close as we do the podcast tonight. Thanks for listening. If you are listening and you're looking for like an online meeting, something like that, a lot of people doing the Zoom meetings. I've heard good and bad. I haven't really joined any of them. I did kind of sit around and watch a guy do it once, but I almost did today. And if you're listening right now and you go to our website, 217recovery.com, there should be a link to some of these fun Zoom meetings. I hope they're going to be fun. And I'll have a link to them all. But earlier today, I was sitting here and I thought, man, I want to do a meeting. And I don't want to do a meeting around here, though. I wanted to do a meeting in Ireland. I thought, man, that'd be fun. You know, just kind of pop all over the world and check in on people and how they're doing in AA and with COVID-19 and just somewhere different. And I was about 20 minutes off, or as other people call it, I was on Corey time. And I could have joined 20 minutes late, but I didn't. I thought, no, that's not how I want to represent America. So I then looked at New Zealand. You know, they're like 11 hours ahead of us or something crazy. And it couldn't find one there either. But it's my goal to kind of, as I have the next couple days off, you know, to find cool cities, cool Zoom meetings and share them on our website. So you'll have access. So if you go to the website and it's not there yet, well, then you're just one of the first listeners. So appreciate that. And it makes you a huge, huge fan and a huge supporter. Today, I met a guy who kind of inspired me to look back and focus more on some of the things that I want to do in my recovery. And he said I inspired him, but what he's doing is inspiring me. And I just wish him the best in his recovery, and I hope he can get it right and do the things that I think God put him on the earth to do. He's a very talented man. He can sing, play guitar. I mean, he wrote a song about the COVID-19. It was really good, and it was really kind of funny, and it had to do with people in recovery and those still in active addiction, and it was a very good song. And I definitely could see it on the radio, even though who listens to the radio anymore, but I could bump it in my car. Absolutely. And it just started making me think like, man, this guy, you know, he thinks I'm inspiring him, but he's inspiring me. And, you know, maybe we're just inspiring each other. You know, I just told him that I had a lot of people look at me funny when I told them I was going to start a podcast and create a business and do lots of things. And I never let that get me down. I just kind of put it in my back pocket. Like it's something I'm going to pull out one day and say, yeah, showed you, didn't I? Remember this? But I don't even have to do that anymore. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. When I started this podcast, I did it for myself. I wanted to keep myself sober. And doing radio stuff was the only thing that I put over alcohol. If I had to go do something for work on the radio, if we had to go introduce a band or whatever, I didn't drink then either. Most people think, wait, you introduced, you know, all these bands and you never drank up on stage? No, not in my real career. I mean, early on, who knows, man, probably, but as I got older and I realized that I didn't want to go up there buzzed. I wanted to go up there good. And that kind of took over the alcohol part of it. So that's why I started the podcast, is to think, okay, well, if I held, entertaining people and communicating with people over drinking, then, this is probably something I need to do, and to start a business out of it. And obviously we can't do speaking of engagements at this point, but we're going to. And I keep saying that we're going to go to the Kalamazoo State Theater, if it's even still open, and we're going to book that place, and we're going to hold an event. It's not going to be just a couple of guys up there telling their story, man. It's going to be an event. Might as well bring in the tattoo artist even, it'll be fun, and it'll be a good recovery event where we do get up there and we'll have some fun with it. And Chris Goss is a very funny guy, and I think has a very powerful story. A lot of women will be able to relate to her, and men too. And I just think we'll just go up there and we'll set it off. And this guy, I was thinking, man, he would be the perfect musician type to bring along with us too. And I was telling Chris about that about a week ago. I was like, look, if we had something like this, but kind of like this other event, but like better, and kind of do it our way and like this. And I was talking to the guy today, and he was just telling me some of the ideas that he had. And I was just looking at him going, you can do every single one of these things. You absolutely can. And people will look at you funny, and they're going to roll their eyes and go, yeah, okay, man. Okay. Cannot let that bother you. If there's something that you want in life, you can go get it. You can. Especially if you're sober. You can't do it if you're drinking. If you're, on drugs, you can't do it. You can't. Maybe you can half-assed, but if you really want to do it well and you want to feel proud about what you've done, do it sober, and you'll reap the rewards, and the people will come and love you. And, this guy just got so much potential. I really, see or want to see him one day succeed, and, I'll help him however I can, but he's got to help himself first. And at the end of the day, you got to take care of that day first. And, I'm pretty sure he went to bed sober tonight. So that's a good win for him. And he's got great ideas. And it just kind of brought me back to mind, like starting a syndicated show, delivering it, or not delivering it, but allowing access to anybody to download it for free. And that's going to take place once we get a studio that I can do some high quality stuff. But, those little things that I've kind of placed in the back burner, I haven't forgot about them, but sometimes you just have to take them off the shelf and just dust them off a little bit, just to remember, hey, those are still there. Don't lose sight of those things either. And I don't know, you might as well dream big or go home. And my mom told me that a couple weeks ago. She was like, maybe you're not dreaming big enough, Maybe she's right. But we'll keep going with it, and we'll see where it goes. And we're having fun right now, and we're staying sober, so life is good. Something else happened, and I shared with some people today, and I teared up. I might have talked about this on the podcast already, but forgive me if I did. Maybe you didn't hear it, or maybe I'm going to say it in a different type of way. But a week or so ago, we were looking for an apartment, and it was really very stressful. My girlfriend, she hung in there like a champ. She took the news of, you don't make enough, or, wait, you make too much, and wait, what? Which one is it? And, it was very stressful for her, but she did it, man. She got it knocked out, and came a point where my credit came into play and my past bills, and I had left an apartment to go to treatment, and I had 2 months left on the lease, and I don't know, I owed him some money, and I really didn't have it. I mean, I might have had enough just to baby cover it, but then I'd have been living broke, waiting for that Trump's money. But I reached out to somebody for help, and before I could really even ask for the help, I did it in a joking kind of way, and was like, hey, would you like to invest in my apartment situation? Give me this and you'll get this back. It was only $50, but that person said, no, I don't want that $50. But before I could even get any of my little pitch out, that person was already trying to give me the money through Facebook. But they said, hey, it won't let me do that much because your card is not set up, or their card wasn't set up, whatever it was. But I mean, it made me tear up later when I was thinking about it, because a year ago, what a different situation I was in, what a different place in my life I was at. Not that it was a bad life, it was the beginning of a great life, but I didn't have that trust. And now I did. And yesterday about, I don't know, 6 o'clock, no, it was about 5:30 maybe, I get a notification on my phone. It was bloop, $1,200 from the U.S. government or whatever, or from the IRS. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So that $1,200 came back, and a lot sooner than what I expected. But the promise was that when I, got that investment, that I would return the investment, as soon as I got that. So I looked at it in my account for a minute, and I thought, well, honestly, I thought, man, I have to send the whole thing right now. But it only lasted for a minute. That's like old thinking, and I sent the whole $1,200 right back to the person that loaned it to me. So that was another good feeling. As much as I hated seeing that money go as quick as it came in, it was good to know that I was holding up my end of the deal. When you promise somebody something, especially if you're asking somebody for something and they give it to you so freely with that trust, it's important that you pay that back as soon as you can. And like I promised, as soon as I get it, I will pay you back. So that's what I did. And it just felt good. And like I said, it sucked seeing that money go so quick, but it's just money. And yeah, money does make life comfortable, but it's not everything. And, my word now means something even more. It's like I'm building my worth in them, again, and, I'm putting the blocks up one at a time, and, build a nice little place here. And I don't know, that didn't make any sense. I'm tired, but you know what I'm saying though. Just to be in that situation, and people are probably like, man, if I was an active addiction, especially right now, this would not be fun. I probably would die. If I was still in active addiction and I just got $1,200 from the IRS and nothing else to do, nowhere to go, I would be dead. I would die from alcohol poisoning. Or I would have done something stupid while being completely intoxicated. It just feels good that I'm in the right place now. And if you're not, don't worry about it. If you know someone who's not, do what you can, to give them hope, inspiration. Because I guarantee you, if anybody was drinking like I was drinking, it's not for fun, but we don't want to be condemned for it. I didn't want to be condemned. I didn't want people to judge me for it. And I didn't think anyone would understand what it was like, to be me and to have this problem. I was so isolated and secluded that I didn't realize that, A, it's not normal for people to drink that way. Like it's not healthy. And that B, that there was a way out. I didn't know there was a way out of it. And like I said, I didn't want to be told I was wrong. I didn't want to be told I was a bad person. How many movies are you watching? And, oh, he's just an alcoholic drunk. It's like, I didn't want to be a part of that group of people. Because deep down, I thought I was a good guy. And for the most part, I am. But I didn't want to look at myself as just a bum, piece of crap for, getting caught up in an addiction, that was mental and physical, all because of a trauma and abandonment. I didn't even want to face those things. I wanted to just be Corey Winfield, the radio guy who didn't have any problems and just had this great life, and it was just a ton of fun. Meanwhile, I'd go home, close the door, lock it, and just start drinking all weekend, all night. It was